Wonder if I should change my format.
Dad?
Let's face it, I'm not doing reviews.
Dad?
I know what I could do. Yeah.
Dad!
Why? What would you do to get the greatest employee award? What would you do for the girl of your dreams? Or what would you do to become the master? Explore the depths of humanity, all the while giggling your ass off like a 12-year-old child at a Jeff Dunham concert gone insane. Or Gabriel Iglesias, or maybe the late Robin Williams. You get the idea. And yes, I admire all these comedians greatly. On to the show! The Cave is a wonderful, whimsical, and confounding game from the folks at Double Fine Productions. Of course, for all those who don't know, Double Fine Productions was founded by the LucasArts legend Tim Schafer and his partner in crime, Ron Gilbert. Ron Gilbert is the creative force primarily behind The Cave, as well as several other games like The Secret of Monkey Island 2, Penny Arcade, Death Spank, and more. Now, if there's one thing that stands out the most for me concerning the content of The Cave, it is the properly executed wit. Whether it's naming a torch, ouchie Bernie thing, abandoning an island-stranded hermit, or breaking the fourth wall on a surprising, consistent basis, the wit reminds you not to take the game so seriously. The funny thing, because of the wit, when you get stuck on the puzzles, and you will at some point, are less likely to throw your controller in a fit of pubescent rage. 7 different characters make up the cave and each have their own tale to tell. That's the point of the cave to begin with, to discover what your characters are really made of. You weave the plot by playing 3 characters at the same time, controlling one of them with an easy-to-switch in-between mechanism. Wait, does that make sense? Yeah, either way you get the idea. The mechanics of this game is simple, but can be frustrating because you will inevitably do a buttload of backtracking. Upon walking around all of creation in this world, you will stumble upon something you may need later, like a hot dog, or an item that does absolutely nothing, like a can of corn. Or at least I have not found out what a can of corn does or triggers, unless you do. Timing is sometimes the issue to master, or an item, or the all-too-obvious use your abilities button. The developers also saw fit to randomize some of the puzzle solutions in order to liven up the gameplay just a little. I said that rather quickly, so if you want to rewind, I don't mind. Now, going back to humor. It is a fine line between ridiculous and hilariously insane, and Double Fine does an outstanding job of the latter. The humor is tongue-in-cheek one moment, and the next morbidly enlightening. For example, one moment the game reminds you that dying is not allowed, and the next it's having the dragon you accidentally let out campily chomp down on a beautiful princess. What did you think the screams were about? It's obvious to me, at least the humor, including dark humor, has a place and is more than welcome in this game. To me, I never tire of it because a delicate balance is struck in order not to overload the player's sensibilities when it comes to the humor. Even the visuals provide the humor. The hillbilly is appropriately cartoonish. The knight, while looking courageous, walks like a complete goofball. And the adventurer, well, actually she's cool. Like an Indiana Jones with boobs cool. Except her story is deep and dark. You'll find out. The set pieces break up the landscape, adding to the whims and further enhancing the story. While we're discussing visuals, let's focus on the graphics. I already mentioned the cartoonish whimsy, but I failed to mention how great the overall game actually looks. Even though the game takes place mostly underground, great lengths are taken to make some of the parts of the story appear completely outside the cave in another land. For one part, you're in an underground nuclear facility complete with a giant nuclear missile and accompanied by many rooms with entertaining personalities, like a carefully crafted lunchroom. In another part, you're exploring the outside of a massive mountain with a friendly, wisecracking wise man at the top. Effects play a big part too, regardless if it's from your characters or the set. Lighting is well suited to each section and does not disappoint in creating an enveloping environment for you to trollop in. That almost sounded smart. Music is simply enlightening. It does not overpower the stories, it enhances them just at the right time. The scores themselves fit each area and are quite enjoyable. Most of the time, you'll hear ambient sounds and the primary interactions of the game. The Cave has a high replayability factor thanks to the story, mechanics, visuals, and plain overall package. I have spent many hours playing this game and many more recording the video for this journalistic review, not to mention the many hours I will spend playing it just for the sheer enjoyment. Ron Gilbert and his team have done a superb job in creating an experience like no other that sucks you in and keeps you enthralled. I'm not going to grade this game because I measure a game on many merits. If I had to say anything review-wise in closing, I would say play this game, play it again, and then play it again, and then tell me I'm full of shit. I'm Coloco73, also known as some short guy named Lewis. Please share and enjoy.